Everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. Thanks for coming by. I'm definitely excited about this. And seems like yeah, I just got it started. Cool. So I hit 500 today. Unknown, right? Hey, Lukash. Hey, Una. Thanks for coming by, guys. Very cool. And Steve Fuller, for sure. Awesome. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Y'all want to hear what I'm Tonight, I'm on my way. Right? Live forever or die trying. Thanks for coming by, buddy. So that's how I'm feeling, guys. For sure. That's the whole feeling that we got going on right now. Over here. You know what I mean? In Noah land. In everyone who reads it must converse land. Yeah. Wearing my Captain America shirt. Everything cool. Paul's in the house. Emily's here. Thanks, baby. Mwah. Nice to see you. Yeah, I haven't watched Mandalorian at all. I've heard it's really good. And yeah, check it out later, Una. All good. I'm gonna get into some cool stuff tonight though. That's for sure. Yeah, Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home. I'm on my way, guys. That's my feeling for tonight. I'm on my way. Set me free. Home Sweet Home here, right? In my home, my nice little, book nook, in Georgia here. But then also the online presence of everyone who reads it must converse is doing better than I ever expected it to, right? I mean, come on, So I'm just super happy. Danny, thanks for coming by, Danny. Very cool. I got some really cool stuff in mind for tonight, and hopefully y'all are just along for the ride with it. Let me check. Of course, I didn't put a CD in. Didn't put anything in to listen to because I was doing other stuff, just trying to think of what we might get into tonight. And I got some cool ideas. So whatever you think, kickstart my heart. Right? Yeah, I was in these rock power ballads, I was listening to Winds of Change by the Scorpions. And then I finally was like, I listened to Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home, and I'm like, there it is. That's what I'm feeling right now, So very cool. Very, very cool. So I got a little bit of a haul to show, and these are not current hauls. These are actually like, I had these before when I was doing hauls, but I had forgot to show them. I didn't grab them out. But, hey to the Lit House. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by again. And I'm doing another giveaway tonight. But I figured I would do it like a game. Okay, so I came up with a game. Actually, it was not my thought. My wife, Emily Clemens, see her on the chat. I was telling her, I said, I got 500 subscribers and I'm going to do a live tonight. So I wish there was something cool that I could do. So she came up with this idea. And I think it's really good. So I've worked it a little bit, and I'm going to do it throughout this live stream. And whenever you have a guess, feel free to chime in. Okay? So what it is I'm going to drop lines from a book that everybody has come in contact with, and I'll give you a hint. It's a book and it's a movie. So it's been adapted. So everybody around has come in contact with this story and come in contact with the quotes that I have pulled out. And I'm going to drop them as I'm doing my live here. And if you have a guess as to what, I'll tell you after the fact of me dropping the quote, right? And if you didn't hear it, then it's not my fault, right? I'm not going to repeat myself, okay? I'm just going to drop the lines, and then when you have a guess, you just go ahead and shout it out. And if you guess the book, I got 2 books that I'll give away, and you have your choice. All right? So that's just how it goes. And, the first thing I want to say is that you never really understand a person until you climb into his skin and walk around, right? It's about empathy. And I am in a really, really cool place tonight because it's a milestone, right? And there's the first quote, right? So there's the first quote from the book. And I will drop them just here and there, just as much as I can. And it's not Forrest Gump. Nice try, Steve. And when you do guess it, maybe if 2 people guess it, then y'all can have your choice of the 2 books. But I got 2 books that I'm going to give away as we go. Lukash, are you serious right now? He guesses it on the first quote. So, it is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Just the southern boy that I am. Lukash knows too much about me. That's what it comes down to. Lukash knows too much about me. So, I don't know if you're gonna have an interest in either of these books, but let me show you what I've hauled, and then we'll get into which ones I have to give. I got this collection. This is a horror anthology, Collective Darkness. This is multiple. You can see how many authors we got down there. Well, Spinelli, Danny, if you want, I'll go ahead and honor it by letting you have the choice that Lukash doesn't make if you want. Because I do have 2 books that I'm not gonna read. I don't need them. But this horror anthology, these guys, Collective Publishing is the small press. They are really active on Instagram. Yeah, Collective Publishing, and it's very highly, it's well regarded, and I paid for it, so I'm gonna give a very honest, clear review, my take on this when I read it, and I'll be reading it very soon. And then give them a little visibility, help them out a little bit. It does look really cool, right? It's a very short, and it's just short stories, a collection of short stories. There's let's see. We got maybe 14 or 15 short stories in here. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's going to be a cool little quick, in-between reads to my normal stuff that I get into, right? Hey, Jay. Well, I'll tell you. I'll keep it going. Lukash, you be quiet, because you got it, okay? You catched it already. And I would say if you want to play, then I'll just keep it going, because, Jay Maddox just showed up. Nice to have you here, brother. And Christy Louise Dostoevsky in space. Thank you for showing up. Very cool. And I'll go ahead and still give quotes. And if anybody else wants to holler out that hasn't seen what it is, then they can go ahead and get it. The next one. So I got involved in this Instagram book exchange. It was so awesome. Okay, so you give one book out to somebody who, you don't know. You just get an address and you send them a book, your favorite book, and then what they send you is their favorite book, right? Not them, not the person you send, but a bunch of other people. So you got the potential to get all these books. You know what I mean? I know, right? Emily's like, yeah, off the cuff, right? I pick one, I say one quote, and Lukács, of course. You know what I mean? These are book people, and I tried to pick a book that would be easy. But another quote is, when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway, and you see it through no matter what. Kind of talking about what courage is. So I got involved in this book exchange, and I gave one of my favorite books ever, maybe my favorite book ever, to George Salis, who is the author of Sea Above, Sun Below. There's a review on my channel of that. But then I started getting these books in the mail from other people who, is sending me their favorite books. So one of these is a fan of my channel, and he sent me Headlong by Michael Frayen. This looks great. This looks really, really fun. And so he's an English author. Yeah, Christy. So I have a book. I have two books that I'm gonna give away. And what I decided to do is kind of a game with it. Don't look up in the chat. Don't look up anymore. Only to people who who are coming in late, because Lukács from A Cruel Reader's Thesis, of course, he gets it right off the rip. First quote that I give, he gets it, So he's already put it in the chat box. So on honor, please, don't look up. But if you want to play along, then I'll go ahead and keep giving quotes. And if somebody else gets it, then there's two books that you can choose from to get, and Lukács will get first choice, and the second person to get it will get the next one. So this is just one. I have no idea what it is, but it comes pretty highly regarded. Kurt Vonnegut on the back says, Michael Frayen, my own favorite British humorist, this time proves by means of a mystery story and hypnotic obsessive scholarship that great paintings, like great music, can raise sweet and glorious hell with our very souls. So it's a comic romp. It looks crazy. So I was sent that just, in part of this book club. Very cool to get it. And I thought it was pretty fun. So yeah, the quote is that, the hint is that you've come in contact with this story. The one that you're trying to guess. And the next book that I got in this book exchange is called The Bronze Horseman by Paula Simmons. It's a great cover. It looks beautiful. For sure. But it is an 800-page romance set in like World War II Russia, I think, is the thing. A love story both tender and fierce. Recalls Dr. Zhivago. And I have no idea. You know what I mean? But it's an 800-page historical romance. Okay? So, I don't know about that one. So, those are the two that I've gotten so far from that book exchange, and I thought that was pretty cool, just to take part and share one book that was my favorite book with somebody that I already knew and had a kind of some talk with and stuff. And then just random people are sending me their favorite books, So I got those two. I'm gonna read Headlong, that's for sure. I'll check it out in the first part of 2021, and then we'll go from there. So I was in a used bookstore a few weeks ago, and I came across something very, very special, and this is Apple in the Dark by Clarice Lispector, translated by Gregory Rabaza. So, New Directions paperback, New Directions Publishing House is doing, right? New Directions is doing a translation, a new translation. Benjamin Moser is doing the translation of all of Clarice Lispector's works. But they have been translated before, and this is Apple in the Dark, translated, the first American edition. And it is one that the New Directions has not translated yet. So, when it comes down to it, it is over 350 pages of Clarice Lispector. And all the Clarice Lispector that I've come in contact with is short. Less than 200 pages. They're novellas, you know? So, give me a big book by Clarice Lispector, please. You know what I mean? I'm loving Clarice Lispector. Yeah, right, Jay. You're funny, man. You're funny. So I'm gonna show one more, and this is a bit of a haul, something that I picked up a few weeks ago as well, and it's John Barth, The Floating Opera and the End of the World. This is John Barth's first two novels, and they very much relate to each other in their content, and so I picked up this binding. Is Anchor Books put out this two John Barth in one, and I have not ever read any John Barth, so I figured why not start with his first two novels, right? So it's not extremely long. Two novels, and it's 440 pages. So I'll check this out at my leisure as it comes down to it, you know. Let's see if I can set it up there. I don't know if it's gonna set right. Just to give y'all an idea. So I'm reading right now David Vardeman, the small pocketbook that Barth is sitting on right there. David Vardeman's short stories. It's from Corona Samizdat Press. It's very, very good. And, you know, when it comes down to it, David Vardeman has a very unique voice from what I can see already. I'm over halfway through it, and I love it. Another quote for Jay and for Christy, if y'all want to try it out, from the book that I have for the game, is most people are nice when you finally see them. That most people are nice, you know, when you finally see them. That's you know, calling to that people in their inmost heart are nice. You know, they want to be nice, at least. They're not evil. People fall into evil, and people fall into, you know, vices in their life. But they don't they're not inherently evil across the board. And I believe that's true. Just part of my belief set, you know. So I thought, just because to celebrate 500 subs, I would talk about a couple of my favorite directors. And Lukash, you're totally down for one, maybe both of these for sure. Because I was thinking that I'd talk about Terry Gilliam, who is probably my favorite director of all time. And I would talk about Paul Thomas Anderson, who is also, maybe my favorite director of all time. And I have a whole lot of their movies. I don't have them all. Terry Gilliam just came out with a new movie not long ago. Adam Driver is in a movie called The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, and I don't have any idea what that movie is really about, but I know that Terry Gilliam was trying to make a remake, do an adaptation of Don Quixote. Yeah, I love The Fisher King. I love The Fisher King. For sure. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movie. I love The Fisher King. For sure. Um, you know, what's so weird? And this is a bit of it's just like too coincidental. You know that, the story of the Fisher King, right? A shock jock type DJ played by um, Jeff Bridges there. A shock jock, kind of like a Howard Stern kind of DJ. Um, Put something out there on the air that causes a mass shooting, public shooting to have. Thanks, brother. Spooby Hunter is my real life brother named Jeremy, and he's in the chat. So thank you very much, brother. This beard is working, ain't it? I told myself I'm not gonna trim it until the spring, so we're gonna see how long I can hold off, right? But okay. So in the book, in the movie The Fisher King, Jeff Bridges is this shock jock that causes this public shooting that causes Robin Williams's soulmate to be shot and killed, and he is therefore thrown into a, he's homeless, he's crazy, he goes crazy, right? Hey, Summer, nice to see you. Okay, so check this out. In real life, Robin Williams went on the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern gave him a whole lot of hell and just nailed him, was nailing him for, on air for something. I don't want to say without being exactly right. Paul, you can get out of here with that. Shave the beard. Go somewhere with that, buddy. So in real life, Howard Stern had Robin Williams on and gave him hell on his show, and then felt bad about it for years, saying, I really like Robin Williams. I mean, he's a great guy and he's done some really great stuff, and I was just messing around. I was just doing my thing, and I didn't mean to really push him out like that. I like the Brothers Grimm. Terry Gilliam's the Brothers Grimm, but it it definitely doesn't do what most Terry Gilliam do. I would definitely suggest you check out other Terry Gilliam. But Howard Stern was to have Robin Williams on his show, to have him on again, and he was looking forward to it weeks before Robin Williams committed suicide. And Robin Williams declined, he was set to go on, and then broke it, and then he did what he did. So the Fisher King actually has like real life analogs in some kind of way, and we won't ever know the real story and how it might relate to the story of the Fisher King, but it's just so weird how the real life analog relates to the story in this movie. I like the Brothers Grimm, and then 12 Monkeys is another really, really popular Terry Gilliam for sure. But later, broski. Thanks for stopping by. Spooby Hunter is my real life brother, that's for sure. He's awesome. But you know, The Fisher King is one of my favorite Terry Gilliam. But if I could, you know, really, I've watched them all. I've watched all Terry Gilliam's movies. So I would suggest, you know, all kinds of, you know, I would suggest watching, you know, and there's probably better ones, you know, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is awesome. Yeah, 12 Monkeys and Time Bandits is awesome. Yeah, for sure. But my favorite, really, like my favorite to watch, the one that I've watched maybe the most is Tideland. I love this movie. It's got Jeff Bridges in it. For a minute. You see him there. He's in it for a minute. But he's in it for the whole movie. But he's actually acting just for a minute. So, figure that out. But this is actually about this little girl. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. And this is actually an adaptation as well. There's a book called Tideland. And I'll give you another quote for y'all who haven't, for those that haven't seen the answer yet, just on your honor. So, there is only one kind of folks, right? And it's folks. It's calling to the equal stance of everyone. So the quote is, there's only one kind of folks, and it's just folks. And but so my favorite, you know, that I own is the Criterion of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Right? I showed this on my Love the Book, Love the Movie tag, that I got the Criterion of Fear and Loathing. It's a great movie. It's totally crazy. And Terry Gilliam with doing Hunter S. Thompson is just a match made in heaven. But I got the Criterion of Brazil as well. This is right where you want to be, Lukash. Brazil is, you know, a movie that will always be studied in film school. What's up, Chris from the basement? Thanks for coming by, brother. So Brazil is totally awesome. A total futuristic, you know, kind of a dystopian future. Just because when it comes down to it, it's you know, bureaucracy off the charts. And, you know, nobody can get anything done. Nobody can get anywhere with anything. It's just ridiculous. Jonathan Pryce is the main character, and he's masterful. And you definitely want to go with the Criterion. You see, there's 3 different versions of this movie in the Criterion, and it's basically the ending that has changed. But Terry Gilliam's ending is the way to go. 142-minute final cut. That's what you want. You want the 142-minute Terry Gilliam's director's cut of Brazil. It is awesome. You got Headlong and the Bronze Horseman? That's cool. I actually just received them, Summer, and I received them as part of a book exchange. Headlong and Bronze Horseman here. I received them as part of a book exchange. I have no idea what either of them are about. I'm probably not going to read the Bronze Horseman, just to tell you the truth. It's not my style. It doesn't really feel like, you know, it doesn't really feel like I want to. It's over 800 pages. Historical romance. You know what I mean? It's just my thing. So this is part of a haul, and I got those 2 as part of a book exchange that I sent somebody a book that I love, and they sent me, two people that I don't know sent me their favorite books. So they're good books. I don't doubt that it's good for what it is, but this person that read this, I just kind of get the feeling that that person that read that has not read anything that I've read. You know what I mean? But Headlong looks great. I'll definitely read Headlong. So, Terry Gilliam came up from the Monty Pythons. So, Holy Grail and Life of Brian, I pulled out just to show. That's where Terry Gilliam came up. And this is what Terry Gilliam's all about. Just absurdist craziness. And the book that I sent to somebody, I sent The Violent Bear It Away by Flannery O'Connor. I was, part of the book exchange was to send your favorite book to somebody. So I sent The Violent Bear It Away by Flannery O'Connor. That is my favorite book, for sure. 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. I was thinking if you're down, then I'll play some music, and just have a little something going on. But I love The Violent Bear It Away. It's so good. It's beautiful. Oh, summer. I'm adventurous, okay? I'm adventurous, that's for sure. It's just that I don't want to be disappointed with a reading experience, okay? I have not had a disappointing reading experience all year. All right, I haven't had a disappointing reading experience all this year. I don't regret anything that I picked up and read, and I haven't unfinished anything except for Ulysses, and that's because the reading group that we had fell apart. And so, when it comes down to it, I'm a picky reader, man. I'm a picky reader, and I think I have a right to be. You know what I mean? I have hundreds of books, and I have a lot that I want to read. I'm not gonna go for something that doesn't look, like up my alley. No slumps, no DNFs, that's for sure. Except for, like I said, I didn't finish Ulysses because the reading group that we were in fell apart, and it was a bummer for sure, but what can you do? I could have just kept on reading for sure, but it was right at the start of COVID. It was probably March when that happened, and we were doing a pretty intense reading of Ulysses, and it just wasn't time for it. The kind of deep reading that we were doing, it didn't really lend itself to the time. The music I put on is Radiohead. I just put on a mix CD of Radiohead that I love. That's what I just felt like I had sitting, right on top. So it's going across Radiohead's whole discography, just pulling out some of my favorites. So these two are off of Radiohead's first album called Pablo Honey. No, Ulysses was not a reread for me. Radiohead Creep. Ulysses is not a reread for me. I still haven't read it all the way through. I got halfway through. We got to chapter 9, and there's 18 chapters in the book. So I love Radiohead, man. But OK Computer is almost a perfect album. Maybe a perfect album. Kid A is great. Dude, In Rainbows is great. Hail to the Thief is great. There you go. Emily says, my favorite book line. Fine, now tell me, does a dog use a napkin? Eye of the Dragon by Stephen King. But I already see. I'm already there. Okay, there's another quote from the book that I have on the docket for guesses, because Emily's throwing out quotes. So delete the adjectives and then you will have all the facts. That's a quote from the book / movie that I have in mind for the game, for the giveaway. If you feel like guessing, go ahead and just shout it out. Only those who haven't seen Lukash kill it. Got it, baby. But I knew already, right? For sure. Stephen King tells a great story, and if y'all haven't come in contact with Eye of the Dragon, that's a really cool Stephen King. It's more of a fantasy than it is a horror, but it definitely has those kind of elements as well. I did finish JR. I'm dropping a review on JR on Sunday, and man, JR is awesome. Dude, there is nothing like JR in all of literature. There's no book that really does what JR does. It's very, very cool. It is totally the most cinematic book that has ever been written, that I've come in contact with. Okay, I mean, I don't know everything, right? What's up, Timmy? I'm doing a little bit of a game. Don't look up in the chat because Lukash has already called it. But anybody who's in late, Christy, J Maddox, Chris from the basement, Timmy, y'all are all still cool to call out and guess if you want. Nice to see you guys. And I'm just giving quotes from a story, book / movie that everybody has come in contact with. And if you get it, if you got an idea of what it is, just call it out. And that's your hint that it is a book that has been adapted. It's a movie as well. And I gave the quote. I'm not going to say the first one again because Lukash called it out just from that. Maybe it's a little bit too... I didn't know if it was too easy or something. I don't know which is so. They're all iconic to me. But it's when you know your lick before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. There's quote number 1. And then 2, most people are nice when you finally see them. And then number 3, there's just one kind of folks, and it's folks. Okay, everybody's the same. And then I just said another quote: delete the adjectives and you will have all the facts. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks for coming by, brother. Nice to see you. And y'all have some fun. So I also pulled out in the whole thing of here, I just wanted to talk about stories. And, we're all lovers of stories. Not just books, but stories as well. And one of my favorite movie makers of all time is Paul Thomas Anderson. And so I have my Paul Thomas Anderson collection here. And I pulled out all these just to show and then talk a little bit. If y'all want to talk about some great books, then maybe you also want to talk about some great movies, because Paul Thomas Anderson definitely does some great movies. So that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So maybe over here. Boogie Nights was Paul Thomas Anderson's first movie that I've seen. He did a movie called Hard 8. I've never seen it. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about Hard 8. If anybody has seen it, let me know, because I'll get it. But it was one of his first. Come on, Christy Louise. Yeah, I mean, I tell ya. Hey, I ain't finna read that. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, right? Yeah, we can talk about everything now, right? Everything's on the table. We're postmodern here, baby. So, I started this out playing Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue. So, if y'all want to know how I'm feeling tonight, that's how I'm feeling, you know. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home sweet home. Yeah, I never seen Hard 8 either, but I tell you, so Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and then Punch Drunk Love. And Punch Drunk Love is like mine and my woman's movie. That's mine and Emily's movie right there. We saw it in the theater when it first came out, and it's just a quirky love story that is so good. So good. It's Emily Watson. Yeah, Emily Watson and Adam Sandler. And Paul Thomas and Philip Seymour Hoffman is in it. And it's fantastic. And then most people will be more familiar with There Will Be Blood, because I believe that Daniel Day-Lewis won an Oscar for this movie. It's awesome. It's actually based on a book as well by Upton Sinclair called Oil. Right. Boogie Nights is a sad film about sad people, man. And hey Gorvidal, thanks for coming by, brother. For sure, always awesome to see you. And my woman's laughing at me, of course. Yeah, I enjoy all of but my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film, my favorite one is probably The Master. I love this movie. This is really right up my alley, right? Spiritual, psychodrama. And Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix and Amy Adams are masters in this movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman is the master. It is so good. Totally worth watching. Worth watching over and over. You know, just for that scene where he's doing the processing. I will watch it over and over, I tell you. Good one. Yeah, man. That's definitely not an Adam Sandler film. Not at all. It is anything but an Adam Sandler movie. You know? But I love Punch Drunk Love. Love, love, love it. Love, love, love it. I'm getting a little more in the shot because I love it so much. And yeah, there you go, J Maddox. Say I got this straw here, and my straw goes over to yours, and I drink it up. So good. Man, Boogie Nights is so good. I was loving that you used Boogie Nights in your recent thumbnail for I Do Porn. That was a really cool take for it because, man, Boogie Nights is so good and heartbreaking and everything, right? It's everything. And these additions here, They have so much special features and supplemental material. The extended scenes in Boogie Nights are awesome. It's very, very cool. Yeah, the Master is my favorite too. Awesome, Lukash. Yeah, man. The Master is I mean, it's there's nothing to compare it to, really. It's so good. I can't believe that you know, that something like that could really be formulated and put down, but only by the person that did Magnolia, right? Could do something like the Master. It's so good. I just rewatched it with a buddy of mine just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, man. And bye-bye. Right? Emily says, and bye-bye. And bye-bye. That's from Punch Drunk Love. Adam Sandler. And bye-bye, you stupid motherfucker. It's so good, man. Punch Drunk Love is so good. It's tough to keep up with all the chat, you know what I mean? Just talking and then kind of looking over and seeing where people are at, but I don't mind it, you know what I mean? I'm not complaining, that's for sure. But just to say that, you know, don't feel bad if I don't see something that y'all have said. So, I mean, but as far as Paul Thomas Anderson movies, you can't go wrong, right? I ain't fitting to read that says, you know, Boogie Nights is his favorite. Anytime that I talk about P.T. Anderson, so many people say that Magnolia is their favorite. And I mean, it's great, right? I mean, Tom Cruise's character in Magnolia is, I mean, who thinks of that? I mean, what an amazing writer Paul Thomas Anderson is. But also, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character is so, just, you love that person. And then Punch Drunk Love is the best romance. I mean, like I said, this is mine and my woman's movie. If there's a movie that's like our movie, this is it, you know? Because it's perfect. It's so great. And, you know, it's about two people who just don't really know, I mean, Adam Sandler especially, doesn't really know how to navigate a relationship in any kind of way, and still doing it, right? Still just being human. Thanks, Christy. Nice to see you. All good. Catch you on the next one or whenever, for sure. And then There Will Be Blood was after that. And it's masterful. I mean, just Daniel Day-Lewis makes that movie. And then The Master we already touched on. And then Inherent Vice I've touched on a couple of times on my channel. And I tell you, the Phantom Thread kind of fell for me. You know, it kind of fell off for me. Especially with the way that Phantom Thread depicts people and stuff like that. With the climate that, you know, the year was when that was put out there. The Me Too movement was just super energized, and it was like, you know, big kind of thing like that. And then the Phantom Thread came out, and it just is way off of like the pulse of what the society and what mainstream was really about at that point. So I hope that that's not, I mean, I did see that Paul Thomas Anderson was doing another movie right now. I can't wait to see what it is. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of people who want to be like Tom Cruise in Magnolia. You know what I mean? But you don't see those kind of people, you know, showcased as a leading person in a movie. You know what I mean? Paul Thomas Anderson wrote that, and he did a great job. So I'll give you another quote. Some are so busy worrying about the next world that they never learned to live in this one. That's a quote from the book that I kind of picked out to kind of look at over the course of the live. And another one, very bookish, this one. I never loved to read because one does not love breathing. And it's saying, that reading is not just something an activity that you can choose to do or choose not to do. Reading is just a part of, the lifestyle. And being is a part of being. So you don't love breathing, you breathe, and saying, well, I don't love reading, I read, So, that's it. So, the ones I wanted to give away, and we'll see if you want a piece of it. All good. Lukash has his choice. I have a Dante's Inferno, Dante Alighieri, with the Dore illustrations in it. So it's just the Inferno, but it has all the Dore, Gustave Doré plates in it. And they're freaking beautiful, of course, right? I don't doubt that you probably already have one, Lukash. That's why when you won it, I was like, oh man. Well, we'll see if he even wants that, because you probably have it. This is the translation by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I've never read this translation. I had it sitting on the shelf and was like, well, I got it because it had the door illustrations, the door etchings. You got it, Summer. It is To Kill a Mockingbird. That's right. So, if you want it, I was going to give this one away if you want it, for sure. It's got a lot of the door etchings with it, and maybe all of them. We got some. I got some 4-leaf clovers pressed on page 67. I'll leave those in there for you if you want. Make it super lucky, right? Yeah, I have a book that just is of the etchings that Gustave Doré did, and so I don't need the illustrations in a binding like this. I already have them out, have them to look at while I'm reading, anyways. So that one, and then I was gonna give away the Bronze Horseman. I was gonna give away the Bronze Horseman by Paullina Simmons, because I'm just probably not gonna read it yet. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna read it. But Summer, you already have it. So since you called it out, I tell you what. If and you already have the 2 books that I suggested for your 2021 as well. So I'm gonna have to think of something. So I was gonna give away and have a choice between these two books here. So Lukash, do you want it? And then Summer's already got a copy. So I tell you what, if you go to the About page on my channel, there's my email. Just hit me an email, and then I'll reply to you, and then you can give me your address there, and then I'll send you the Inferno there, Lukash, for sure. It's a beautiful hardcover edition, man. The Barnes and Noble Classics edition is what it is. And perfect, right? I mean, it would be more perfect if it was the whole Divine Comedy, but you know. And then Summer, if you hit me on the email, I'll reply to you with the, yeah, I love the Gustav Doré illustrations, the etchings. If you hit me, Summer, on my email, then I'll reply to you and I'll think of something. I'll send you something different because you have, sweet, it's yours, Lukash. Right off the rip, first quote. It's so fun, man. I should have known with these bookish folks. I should have made it tougher. Maybe gone for a tougher book. Wow. So I can't believe you have 3,000 books, Summer. That's awesome. I probably have 1,000. And I don't know for sure because I haven't really cataloged them all yet. But I'm in the process of cataloging all my books and just scanning them into an app. And when I can't scan them, you know, I just put the ISBN number. And it's working out good to catalog them. But I probably have 1,000 books. And that's more than I thought that I had. So I couldn't imagine having 3 times the amount that I have right now. I mean, I already have anxiety when I look at my books sometimes. I mean, you know, it's good. I love them, right? We love our books, that's for sure. I'm sure you're good. You're too fun, Summer. So, To Kill a Mockingbird. Bam. That's what it was. Y'all rock. Thank you for coming by and spending some time with me on my day of hitting 500. It is very, very cool. Never did I think that I would that many people would care. Just thought I'd make like a little cool kind of community, you know, make some friends and stuff like that, but to really have people that enjoy the kind of content that I put out and that kind of thing is very, very cool. Thank you, everyone who kind of has always been along for the ride with me, like Lukash and, you know, Paul and Timmy. You know, Timmy's one of my first subscribers, you know what I mean? And Lukash at Cool Readers Thesis. You guys have been followers of mine, you know, since the beginning and stuff of this channel, and it's just really, really cool for the kind of community that we have on BookTube, and new people feel it, like To the Lit House and Summer at Cozy Reading Quaker Cats. You know, these newer folks to the community, they totally feel that and see that, you know, we're just all, you know, doing the same thing. Loving books, loving stories. Turn it on and start filming, right? If you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden. Anyone? Emily's throwing out quotes. I think I know what that is. Thank you, Lukash. It's very cool to see you, man. I'm ending it very soon. I usually end it right at 1 hour. You know what I mean? I don't go really over too much over an hour with these because, you know, ain't nobody trying to sit there for an hour and watch Noah, right? I just don't get it. I don't know. I try to do some good content, but for real. So thank you very much, Lukash. Nice to see you, brother. And yeah, hit me whenever. I'll hook you up. My pleasure. And yeah, I think if you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden. You cheated? What'd you cheat on? I ain't finna read that. Hey Danny, awesome. Always cool to see you. And thanks for coming by. I tell you, Christy, Louise, and Danny at Spinelli Speaks, and Summer at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. We're all here. That's the reading group so far for 100 Years of Solitude. So I'm definitely down. See? I ain't finna read that called that. So, I will go ahead and I'm gonna hit, or just, I'll leave a comment maybe on Summer. And I don't know if you got me, Danny, on Voxer. That's where we should do, a kind of group discussion for reading 100 Years of Solitude. We got time, you know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. Very cool. Thank you, Chris from the basement. Yeah, right? Next we celebrate 1,000. So thank you to the Lit House. You're cool. Chris from the basement. I ain't finna read that. Danny at Spinelli Speaks. Christy at Dostoevsky in Space. Emily, thank you for coming by. My brother Jeremy. And Summer at Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats. Timmy at Lost Cunningham. J Maddox Entertainment in the house. Lukash at A Cruel Reader's Thesis. There's so many people that that really support me and are along for the ride all the time. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, we'll see when the next 500. I mean, for real. Okay, there's gonna be, another. Thanks, Carlos. Carlos Hermana. Carlos, thanks for coming by, brother. For sure. Yeah, I give you something to do when you can't sleep, right? Y'all have a great night.